Nigeria had just gained independence from Britain. The people were full of hope. Streets were filled with music and celebration. A young man named Ade Olatunji, a student leader at the University of Ibadan, gave speeches calling for justice and unity. But soon, Ade saw that the new leaders were becoming greedy. Corruption started and promises were broken. Ade wrote articles in newspapers warning that Nigeria was going in the wrong direction. He was arrested in 1964 and accused of spreading lies. Though he was later released, he had been warned. "Speak again," the police officer said, "and you will disappear." A coup happened. The army took control. People thought things might get better. But fear grew in the land. Soldiers crushed protests. Newspapers were shut down. Writers and singers who criticized the government were arrested or went missing. Fatima Musa, a poet from Kano, started writing poems about justice and peace. Her words touched many hearts. One day, soldiers stormed her house. Her books were burnt. She was taken to a secret place and tortured. She never wrote again. Nigeria went deeper into military rule. The gap between the rich and the poor grew wider. A fearless lawyer named Chike Obioma started defending students and workers arrested for protesting. He was part of a group called the Voices for Freedom. They planned peaceful protests and printed small newspapers in hiding. In 1995, a famous activist and writer named Ken Saro-Wiwa was hanged by the government for fighting against oil pollution in Ogoniland. Chike cried that night. He knew the message: speak and you die. Later, Chike too was arrested and jailed for 3 years. When he came out, he was a shadow of himself. In 1999, democracy returned. People hoped things would change, but corruption stayed. Police still beat protesters. Journalists still disappeared. A young woman named Ngozi Dika, a radio journalist in Lagos, spoke about bad roads, poor hospitals, and missing government money. One night, men with dark glasses followed her home. She was beaten and warned. Her radio station received threats. She stopped talking about politics. "Nigeria is not ready," she said. Activists like Uche Okafor, who joined the Bring Back Our Girls protest in 2014 after Boko Haram kidnapped schoolgirls, were called enemies of the state. Some were arrested, others beaten during protests. Young Nigerians started using Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to speak out. Hashtags like Occupy Nigeria and EndSARS spread fast. The government watched. Tunde Bamidele, a tech-savvy youth in Abuja, shared videos of police brutality online. He joined the EndSARS protest in 2020. He believed Nigeria could change. But on October 20th, 2020, soldiers opened fire on peaceful protesters at Lekki Toll Gate. Tunde was there. He was shot in the leg. His friend Kemi died in his arms. The government denied the shooting. CCTV footage disappeared. Truth was buried again. Now fear has returned. Activists are watched. Bank accounts of protesters have been frozen. Online posts lead to arrests. The government calls critics fake news spreaders. A new generation, Zara, Musa, and Ifeanyi, still speak, though quietly. They use art, music, and hidden messages. They meet in small groups. They train others to be wise and brave. They remember those who were silenced, and they whisper to each other, "The silence must break one day."